chocking. So I think I've generally in my kind of experiences and my travels with the D0, certainly with the production boat, I think with the production boat you probably need the mast collar even maybe a bit further forward than on the pre-production. I think the time that I sailed, I think I only sailed the actual production boat once maybe, but I think I had even that chock behind the mast, so literally the mast was as far forward as possible, and it seemed okay. Again, it's something that I can't profess to be, you know, the gospel, but it certainly seemed to be all right to me. If you're a bit lighter or it's a bit windier, then certainly maybe think about chocking it further back. This is with the heel cup of the mast with the hole on the back bit, so it's basically for maximum uprightness. Okay, so has anyone had any particular experiences or feelings?
I have, funny enough. I found that when I was late for Oxford, due to kid whatever really, but Stu Bailey rigged my boat up, and he put the mast cup forward.
Right, so it's really rated.
So, well, relatively, I left the chock. I've never touched the chock since it's come out of the factory.
Yeah.
But I think at Oxford, in the decent breeze we had there, it felt really, really balanced and really quick upwind. It was my starting and the rest of it. No, not I didn't have any problems at all. I didn't realise till I was cleaning the boat out, to be honest with you. So, but it felt really good, that little bit raked in that sort of wind.
Yeah.
What's it doing then? When you
The issue you've got there though is if the wind picks up, you can't adjust that.
If
well,
the wind
drops,
drops,
it at the deck,
or picks, yeah.
You can adjust at the deck. You can rake the mast, but effectively what's happened is you've raked the mast back more.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
By doing that. Now you can do that while you're sailing between races by taking chocks out. Whereas if you're all the way back, because the cup's
This
at the
assumes
front,
that Russ knew what he's actually doing.
if the cup's at the front and the wind picks up, you can't.
No, you can't adjust it. But I mean, I don't know if it's anything to do with the hill position or anything like that. Made it because it felt really just.
Well, I mean, if
nice
it felt
and
really good,
good.
that's worth
The only thing
knowing.
I was concerned about was the leech tension, but it seemed to be.
Seems to be holding up. If the mast's all the way upright, you'll have, you know, slightly more leech tension. So let's say, you know, 32 kilos of leech tension. So that means a bit less twist. The boat will generally be able to point a little bit higher, but might feel a bit more grabby and on-off. But you know, the general practice in these sorts of boats is when it gets pretty windy, is to chop back a little bit, and that means you have a bit less leech tension. Whilst it means the mast is a tiny bit straighter. By that time, anyway, you'll have loads of cunning on, so that probably is almost like a backstay on it. And it just means you have a bit more twist, and the sail's kind of a bit more forgiving. It's a bit more progressive to the steering. It's not so sort of on-off, grabby, stagger around sort of thing. Everyone, you know, those are the guys who've sailed lasers in lots of wind, know that kind of feeling when you've got loads of bang on, and it's kind of like, you know, block to block, and it's just very unforgiving. You know, you've got to be very precise with the steering and brutal with the body movements to keep the thing going. Whereas with one of these set up nicely, it should allow you, the boat will just want to go a bit more. But you know, so if you have too much rake back, for instance, and it gets a bit lighter, and you've got the Cunningham off and stuff, you're just the sail will be a bit twistier, and you might lose a little bit of height, perhaps. So it's something that, you know, would be interesting to maybe look into today. I mean, it's very light, so to be honest, if it's so light, you would need to block to block today, so it might be a little bit immaterial. But it's something, you know, you guys have got what 12 zeros here, so it might be, you know, one day say, oh, right then, lads, let's have a little play around with our mast rake, shall we? And you know, mess around and see what the variables are like.